Hello, all you hardcores. Welcome to part three. We're just waiting for James to log on. He's probably just nipping into the kitchen in his remapped wheelchair, 2 horsepower, to uh, to make his son a quick cup of rosé, and then he'll be back with us. I hope you like the photograph of me there in Amsterdam in January, living it large. Look at my brains, don't I? James, you're back. Women hate you, men
Oh,
don't want to be you.
I don't know. I don't know. There's plenty of people out there that might. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Especially if they're
James, the housewife's favourite. You
I
spoilt for
am
choice, aren't you, mate?
with my lazy eye and my five chins. You know what I mean?
Go on, James. You love it, mate. You
I
absolutely
do.
love it.
I do.
Uh, James, let's just cut straight to the chase here, right? Frotch has done an interview with Conor Benn. It's looking like it's on DAZN, so they're probably going to save that up for nearer to the fight. Do you think that he'll have gone in on him with certain questions? Uh,
Certainly not. Certainly not. Because he's Conor Benn, whilst he's under the umbrella of Turkey at the moment, things are off limits. That's why Carl's been brought in. He's been brought in to control. Well, he's been brought in, and he would have been told, "Look, curb the narrative. We'll maybe pay you a few quid, or we'll let you into the fold, but just make sure that you don't over egg the pudding, for want of a better expression. Don't cause any controversy. Let's get this fight out of the way. Let's make a nice merry few quid, and we can all go on our way." Questions will only start being asked of Conor Benn when he loses, when he starts getting beat, and they wash their hands of him.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is what I'd ask Crusher Benrack, 'cause people keep saying, "All right, then, mouthy porky, what would you ask him?" Very simple, really. Connor, how did clomiphene get in your system twice over a 4 month period when it's a masking agent, by the way? So what have you got to hide?
Mm.
Second question, why can't you answer questions about it to the proper media? And why do you only speak to in-house media like Darren Barker or Coogan Cassius, who's your close friend, and the Gad who lives near you, in the same village as you and Eddie Hills. Why are you only speaking to these people and the zone people and not speaking to proper people, who really want to ask proper questions instead of these soft guys who are getting sponsorship and they're getting flown out there and they're getting to eat at the dinner table with the promoter and all that. They're not going to put it on him. So, and why is it when you are asked the odd question that looks difficult by certain media people at these presses, you always say you can't answer that because of legal implications? I'd
Hmm.
ask that. Then I'd ask him, why was you saying there was a 274 page dossier that's on 6 interviews that he said that's going to prove your innocence? You said that on Piers Morgan, you said it on IFL, Stomping Ground, DAZN, and Sky Sports, and Matchroom Boxing. So why could you say that? And on your socials, Twitter or X as it's called, and Instagram and Facebook. Why can you say all that about the 274-page dossier? Where is that dossier and what happened to it? Can you show us also proof of this 1.1 million pound that you spent on legal fees? Show us some invoices and who was the solicitors who were dealing with it? Very simple questions. Experts say for you to be blaming it on eggs, like the WBC are saying, you would have to eat between 60 to 75 eggs per day, which for a person of your weight is absolutely impossible. You would be blown up like a balloon and your body would be binding all day. So I don't believe that. He didn't believe it at first and said, no, no, it's not eggs. Then they went back to it, didn't they, and said, yeah, it was eggs. So what is it? What is it?
Hmm.
Another question is, why are you saying you're a soldier and a warrior and you're stepping up 3 weight divisions from welterweight to fight a guy who's really a 168 guy? Now, Eubank did win a belt, an IBO. years and years ago at 168. But his last 168 fight was James DeGale in 2019. Since then, he's been fighting at middleweight. Crusher Benn's been a light middle for 3 years in April, right? So
Yep.
he's technically stepping up from 154 to 160. So why is he saying he's stepping up to fight a 168 guy when really from a 147 when really he's stepping up £6 and not 21? Why are you saying that? Another question for Conor, Ben, if you're listening, Conor. You're probably not, but I don't really care. Why would you put a £10 weight rehydration clause change to £12 on the morning for a fight that's not, and I repeat, not for a world title? Why are we doing this when your promoter's dad, Barry Hearn, the father of Eddie Hills, had Michael Watson weigh in at 164 for a belt at 168? That £4 difference made all the difference on the night, according to experts who operated on Michael Watson, because he had no fluid on his brain, did he? Around his brain protecting him. So if fighters' safety is paramount, that Eddie Hills keeps going on about when we have drug cheats, why have we got a drug cheat, two-time drug cheat, that they tried to cover it all up, going in with a kid and they're making him rehydrate to only £12 when normally he'd probably put about, well, maybe £15 on, but there ain't that much
Mhm.
different. Frotch only used to put £5 on, but look, it is what it is. He wants to put more than 12 on, but why would they put a rehydration clause in when they're not even for a fight for a title fight? And then another simple question is, Carl Froch should know all this. Piers Morgan on Fridays got Benn and Eubank on his channel. Piers Morgan won't know to ask all these questions, but Carl Froch will. So it's going to be interesting if Carl Froch has asked these questions. He might have asked them and it might have been edited out, but we'll hear about it on Froch on Fighting. But it's going to be interesting to see. But if Carl's questions have been edited out, let's see Carl come on Froch on Fighting and fire the same questions that I've just come out with now on his channel to Crusher.
Mhm.
And we might get a reaction there because Pratchett's saying his channel's fastest growing channel, and for views wise, it is. So he's in a position of power. That's why it looks like they're trying to pal him up. So let's hope that Carl asks these questions, because if he doesn't, it'll be very, very embarrassing for him after everything he's said to me personally regarding certain things in boxing and then what his channel's been standing for. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Mhm.
But we're going to
Yeah.
see, aren't we? So we can't throw mud at Carl just yet, but we're going to see what's happened. And obviously, he'll have to come out and explain himself if he hasn't asked the questions or if they've been edited out. But it looks like it's not on his channel. It's going to be on DAZN, which is Eddie Hearn deals with them, doesn't he? So we're not gonna get what we want by the looks of it, Howard James. What do you think about all that
No.
said?
But it's also Turkey's got shares in DAZN as well, and Saudi Arabia's got shares in DAZN. So, and while he's bankrolling the fight, they're not going to ask the hard questions, or as you say, they'll be edited out. And he's not going to say I'm Frotch on fighting because they'll be watching. So, as I say, you only get the hard questions being asked of Conor Benn when he's irrelevant, and
Yeah,
he's irrelevant. He's irrelevant to the hardcores because we know what he is, but not to those people that are your social media generation that are signing up and they just want to see someone dead angry and pretending to be a gangster. What I would also ask Conor Benn is, I'd say, look, produce this dossier like you're saying there, Ross, because you said that basically it would blow open, or the media surrounding you have at least said, it will blow open the whole drug testing thing. There could be problems in the drug testing process. That affects us all. You could be an absolute pioneer. You could be a pioneer, Conor Ben, for the drug testing process. You could prove that people like Dillian White have been done wrong. If there's a flaw in your tests, there might be a flaw in other people's tests. You could be a pioneer and an absolute saviour of boxing. Why would you not want to shout from the rooftops if you're innocent? Why would you not want to take that dossier on to Piers Morgan's, who's got a massive platform and is very opinionated, a la Simon Jordan, and say, yeah, read that, and disseminate it amongst your viewers and show me to be the hero that I should be. Instead, he's 20, 28, 29, whatever he is, just mouthing off and acting like he's this prospect when really he's an old man. Well, he's getting to be an old man in boxing terms and being forced down our throat. I'm not interested. My whole take on the situation is fight shouldn't really be happening, and I'm probably not, and I'll get shit for this. I probably won't even watch it live because I don't want to give it my patronage. I'll catch it afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, I see where you're coming from, James. I see where you're coming from. But like I said, Piers Morgan Uncensored Friday, Eubank Jr. and Crusher Ben are going to be on there. So let's hope that Piers Morgan asks asks the proper questions. Do you know what I mean?
hmm Or allows Eubank to.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yep.
Uh, okay. Uh, let me think. Let me think. Will Mickey Theo and Big Joe Egan ever have a fight with themselves or anybody? Or are they going to continue to keep talking on social media about having a fight?
Probably not. They're just living off past glories. I mean, Mickey Theo loves talking about Lenny McLean, who's dead and died in 1998, I believe. So, there's no sort of backing up Mickey Theo's claims of being a big hard man and all. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's very handy, but leave it in the past. You know what I mean? You're not a doorman now. Leave it in the past. John Fury didn't want to fight here because John Fury's obviously a bit of a shithouse. You done your best calling him out and all that. It didn't happen. Just go off and do what you need to do. You don't need to embarrass yourself now. You're an old man.
Where's Big John Fury hiding, James?
Oh, he's just he's in the forest, isn't he? Eating stew.
Living off the land.
He's a man, yeah, he's a man of simple pleasures, isn't he?
Yeah, living off the land like John Rambo.
Yeah, basically. And organising fights for 100 grand against top gypsy champions.
Okay, Turkey and Dana, will they take over or is it all hot air?
The I believe they've got the capability to do so. As I've said before, like I didn't say Dana White, but I did say that Turkey was going to maybe look to do a boxing league. He's got the right sort of person in place to initiate that format. Maybe the pay of the fighters won't be as lavish as it has been. Give him a couple of years, and I think the fact that you said before, Hills has turned around and started calling him Turkey. I think they know that the clock's ticking, and that's why there's a little bit of sourness from the boys. So it's not going to be immediate because there's a lot of admin and a lot of sorting out to do. Obviously, they've got to employ teams to do it all, and it's not just Dana White sat in a room with a piece of paper, is it? So maybe 2, 3 years, and then we'll really see what the impact is. But I do think they're very capable of doing it, and the fact that Turkey's got that machine behind him now. He's got basically the Ring magazine. He's got the Ring magazine belt. He's got basically a propaganda machine behind him. The sky's the limit. So yeah, I think it'll happen.
Here.
Yeah, definitely. Just give it time. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
No?
No, there's a lot of chat amongst the commission lads, and some people are saying it's a bad thing. And I don't know if it was Bob who said about the money. Dana rips off the UFC fighters. Yeah, he does. But the thing is, you've got that little balance there with Turkey. Turkey's been paying extravagantly. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of a meeting in the middle, and top fighters will get top money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Boxing needs a change. Do you know what I mean? And we, as a society, most of the time, people are scared of change. They're scared of it because it's foreign. They've not seen it before. It can only be a good thing. If it doesn't work, there'll be some mouthy Jack the lad who comes along, a former window salesman like Eddie Hearn, who can take it back to the doldrums that it's in now. So never fear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, got to try it, ain't you, Russ?
You what, mate?
They've got to try it. Can't get much
Try
worse.
something, mate, because I'm losing will to fucking live here, mate. With it all at the moment.
Well,
I really
exactly.
will to live. I could be doing other things and earning a lot more dough than with my spare time or spending more time with my kid or
Yeah.
shagging or whatever.
Well,
The
I could be shagging. You know what I mean? I don't know about you. I've got them coming, lining up.
well, you're lining them all up now. You're on here, James.
I
You
know, I know.
big James Benoit, you know.
I got you to thank, can I?
I know. You love me, really, don't you, James?
I do, I do.
Okay,
Definitely.
then. Last four topics. Hamzat
Mhm.
Sheeraz, has he been found out, and what next? Is he going to have to be protected, or they're just going to throw him under a bus?
Yeah, I think he has been protected because they started talking about, his hand being broken. And he didn't throw his other hand either, really, did he? So I think that they've done a bit of a media job on him to try and sort of dampen down. No one's mentioned Bradley Skeet either, have they, outboxing him? Um, so that was sort of buried. So yeah, he will be protected. Maybe they need to go back to the drawing board. On paper, even though it's completely wrong, he still hasn't got a loss, so they can come in from that angle and just rebuild quietly. But he's not. He's clearly not all that when it comes to someone with a bit of volume punching, someone who can put their shots together and just because he does. He walks in straight lines. I compared him to Callum Smith, didn't I? He just keeps his hands up and he'll let shots go occasionally. But Callum Smith can fight fire with fire, whereas Shearer appears to be a little bit of a front foot bully. If you're on the front foot, he looks absolutely fantastic. As soon as someone outboxes you, outfoxes you, he don't know what to do, does he?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Should Talksport have a clear out, a media clear out on the boxing department with all them liquors that they've got at the moment that they're using because it's just plain old lickery and nobody's really pushing the boat out. It's just grovel, 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 slurp, slurp, slurp in it at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Spencer Oliver, but he's shown that he can. He's shown that he can be a little bit more controversial when he needs to. I don't think necessarily, apart from the Gad, I'd get rid of the Gad because I'm sick of seeing Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen on me TV, really. But you know, the problem is with Talksport, it's at the top. I don't necessarily think it's the people in front of the camera. It's the people at the top who are spinning the narrative and paying the wages. So, because look at Johnny Nelson. He used to be company man, didn't he, Allscock? And then he stepped away from, well, Eddie Hearn stepped away from him, started being a bit more controversial again, and now he's gone back. So it's always the paymasters, isn't it, who set the narrative. Um, the only one I would get rid of categorically is the Gad because he's the ultimate rimmer, isn't he? And he don't even just do it on Talksport, does he? Do you remember when with Tyson Fury when he was like, "Oh, this is a tougher fight for you now," isn't it? And even Tyson Fury told him to shut up about Derek Chisora. So yeah, just get rid of him and have a firm word with the others. Get more Carl Frampton on because he talks sense.
Yeah, Carl Frampton's good, isn't he? But like I said, when you've got the Gad and Jug Ears and Simon Jordan, Judge Jordan, they're all noshing everybody off. They're all softened up.
Hmm.
And it just gets up my nose. Uh,
Yeah, it gets on mine.
Duke McKenzie. Why is he not on mainstream a lot? Do you think it's because he's a straight shooter, probably the straightest one in the sport? Freeweight world
Yep.
champion, but he talks very straight. He doesn't do anybody any favors, and he's not really bothered about going back and forward on social media with people. He's just a straight talking guy. Do you think we need more like him? I think he's probably the best pundit out there at the moment.
Yeah, we certainly do. And you just answered it there, Russ. He will not get like mainstream gigs really because he's so controversial. They just want to, you know what I mean? They want to keep everything nice and soft and fluffy. Don't. don't rock the boat too much because you might drown. Basically, that's why you don't rock the boat, innit? You drown. So yeah, if he's rocking the boat too much, he's not going to get the big gigs, is he? Because they'll want to drown him because he's not conforming to the narrative. I like Duke as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll finish off on this one then. J-Lo approaching 41, lost to Ivan Drago at the weekend. Do you think that's
Mm.
you think age caught up with J-Lo, Natasha Jonas?
Yeah, yeah, of course it did. But I do want to. Me and the lads, the commission lads, we just chatting about it briefly, talking about Lauren Price and how her back was so ripped. She's coming to the ring looking like a piece of gristle, isn't she? Serious questions have got to be asked about that. Now, I'm not saying whether you're on, the funky milkshakes. Um, like if she wasn't on the funky milkshakes, she still might have beaten Jonas, but I don't necessarily think um, that it was quite a level playing field. She's an absolute monster, Lauren Price, and I think questions have got to be asked there. To be honest,
You reckon?
yeah, big time. She looks like a bloke, and she's very aggressive. I think I compared her to Conor Ben when I was talking about it. She's very aggressive, very abrasive, very, just like Conor Ben was. You know what I mean? Just angry all the time. And what causes that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay then, James. Well, listen. Thanks for coming on. Max is
No
he
problem.
get on, but I'll put him on a ban till he gets to Bridgerweight.
You won't see him in ages then, will you? But yeah, I really like Max. I've spent a lot of time talking to him. He's a good lad, isn't
Every time Max gets down to 19 stone, 13 and three quarters, he sends me a picture of his big plates of meat on scales.
he? Does he?
Yeah, and then he goes over 20 stone, and then I don't see any scales pictures from him.
No
Probably until he's been
communication.
sat in sauna 2 days. But old Max, bless him, he's loyal as a dog.
Old
Okay,
Connor.
well, listen, thanks for coming on, James. It's been a pleasure. I hope you're well. I hope your love life improves. I know you've always got something up your sleeve.
I have, mate. I have. It's called Palmer fight. No, I'm only joking. Right, I'll let you go. I'm not going to be crass and disrupt the channel. I'll yeah, see you later, Ross. All right.
All right, do you want to give a big shout out to your mates on commission?
Yeah, definitely. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you all. Jerry, Bob, Big Max, Anthony.
Big Max, it's
Um,
Big Max, what I've just been talking about in commission.
yeah, yeah,
Max,
he's in
he's in,
the.
aren't you, Max? You're like a little washerwoman.
He told me that you're hilarious to drive with. He said you're absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, well, when I bought that 330D X Drive Beamer touring, about
Yeah,
4 year old, I took him from Gary and John came up to stop the night for Gary from Welcome Estates.
yeah,
Max came to have a drink with us. He came into the bar and I said, "What do you want, Max?" Because obviously we were all steaming. Max,
yeah.
"Oh, can I have a pint of cola with a straw?" Because he don't drink, so he had a pint of cola. He said, "Oh, let's have a look at your car." Anyway, I said, "Jump in." I took him from Ellaby Hall down to Micklebing and then into Braithwell and then at
Hmm,
120, right? And he were
bloody
trying to
hell.
get out the car, mate. He were trying to get out the car, mate. And it had been remapped as well. It was pulling arms on it. I scared myself, actually. And he were
Yeah.
absolutely wetting his pants. And he goes, "Oh, I'm never getting a fast car." Forward 2 year, comes to my house, pulls up outside in a 50 grand brand spanking new 24 plate.
Jesus,
V8 Merc that does an 8 gallon
Jesus Christ.
and 8 mile to gallon. And obviously, he
Yeah.
don't drink or smoke or take drugs or anything like that. He's not into out like that. All he's into is eat.
No.
All he likes to do is eat and drink Coca Cola. So,
Yeah.
and anyway, and I could hear it revving up outside. I thought, well, that ain't a diesel because I'm a diesel man, me. So
Yeah.
I've gone outside, I've gone, Max, how many's this do to gallon? He's gone, oh, 9. I've got
Oh, bless
9. So you've come here from Scarborough and you're 9 to gallon. It cost him 100 quid to go from Scarborough to South Yorkshire and back. 100
Jesus
quid.
Christ.
I said,
It's
he
like a
must
muscle.
have. Well, he's not short of a few quid, is he? Like,
No.
I'm like, Max, where is your head at? Do you know what I mean? You don't even drive fast. You drive like Miss Daisy.
Well, he just said he was just saying you're absolutely hilarious because you just sounds like you get a bit of road rage. Right? He didn't say that, but it sounds like you do.
Oh, yeah, well,
So
you've got to have a laugh, aren't you, in this day and age? Yeah, I shit him up, but I also shit myself up. But I got me comeuppance, didn't I? Because I ran over an owl and it wrote
bloody
it
hell.
off. There was a big hole, it wrote it off. It broke my heart.
Oh,
But
bloody hell.
hey ho, you win some, you lose
Right,
some. So James, thanks for coming on. But yeah,
no
Max
problem.
is a
Been a
good
pleasure.
lad. He's loyal, and if you want loyalty, get a dog. He's like an old Labrador, Max.
Bless him.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to say this about Max gets a lot of stick, but when I was dying, obviously I was under 9 stone, and I nurses come and see me every day. Max turned up like 3 times in a fortnight, and each time he come, he fetched me tubs of this build-up drink because he had a gym then, and he
Yeah,
were fetching me stuff like that. And Scott Brunn were ordering me pallets, and I mean pallets of these drinks that were coming like a glass bottles to fill me up and that. And Scott Brunt and Max, they were absolutely gentlemen. And Dennis
maybe.
came to see me as well, and he looked after me as well. So this, you don't forget things like that. Even though me and Dennis don't see eye to eye, little things like Big Richard come round to see me, fetch me a big, massive, rocky picture thing that they fetch about 1,000 quid at auction. Them at these boxing dudes, it's put up at
Yeah,
factory. Big Richard came to see me, and they were all bang on with me, and they're all good friends of mine. But yeah, Max
yeah,
is loyal. All right,
yeah, definitely. And that goes a long way with me and all us.
long way
I'll
to
see
come
you later. And
for to see me here chingering and ranting off and
who
terrorising
me?
nurses in my bedroom, innit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was just going to say, if you want me to come and see you, I'll bring a few birds from Barnsley, and
Nah,
you know,
nah, I don't need any burns and bars. They're coming
I
around
know you
here, man.
don't.
And I'm fit as
I
a
know.
butcher's dog now. I'm juggling on, but like I said a few years ago, I won't, were I? So,
No, he wasn't.
hey, see you, James.
See you later, mate. Take
Right.
care.
Thanks for
Bye bye.
liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. That was James. Women can't stand him. Men definitely do not want to be him. Big shout out to Canada's boxing channel and Andy's Cavern, YouTube. Give them a subscribe and a watch. All right. Big shout out to Anthony Austin. We'll get you on. Peter DeFreitas. I hope you're well, Pete, and getting stronger. You're welcome on anytime. Love you to death. All right. Anybody I've missed, I do apologise because my memory's going. Go on. Peace out. That's freedom for today to keep the wolves at bay. Booyaka!